first thing I want to do is I want to thank everybody out there, because we've had these Facebook groups going, and we've taken a lot of email and on Twitter, and there's just a lot of communications work being done where people are talking about this and asking questions and telling their story.
Teammate and farmers on high alert over a deadly avian flu that's killing thousands of turkeys.
CNN Board of Animal Health quarantined 2 more farms in southern Indiana. I-Team8's Richard Essex reports.
The infected turkeys are in Davies and Martin County. This week, almost 40,000 turkeys have been infected here in the state of Indiana. And this is a time of year when the avian flu has typically run its course.
So it's just something is different this year, and that's happening with this virus, and it's out there and it's not going away.
Highly pathogenic H5N1, also known as avian flu, is lingering much longer than expected. So how is the virus moving from flock to flock? It is believed the virus is spread by the droppings of migratory birds.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
However, there is growing evidence that it may be an airborne virus.
These barns are typically very well ventilated to keep the birds, fresh air and keep them cool and a proper temperature. And so they have ventilation fans running on those. We have seen cases where the first birds in the barn that get sick are the ones located closest to the ventilation.
And results are back. Vermont Fish and Wildlife say it was the avian flu that killed 21 geese in Barton. That flock was found at Crystal Lake State Park back in November. As a precaution, the state is testing dead birds found in a group of 5 or more just to be sure nothing else is killing.
The final steps into El Paso, Texas are cold and dangerous. A journey thousands and thousands of migrants have made over the past few days alone.
Israeli farm detects new strain of bird flu. Ynet vertical bar 11:42. A poultry farm in central Israel was found to have chicken infected by a new strain of bird flu, the Agriculture Ministry said on Thursday. A lockdown on farms in the area was imposed and authorities urged the public to boil eggs and meat before use.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
From poultry on farms to flocks in the wild, global bird populations are being ravaged this year by a deadly strain of avian influenza. Across Canada, the virus has hit an estimated 5 million birds, with the highest levels of infection in Alberta and BC.
When it goes into a barn, within 4 days, we can see total mortality of all the animals within the barn.
The disease has struck more than 260 Canadian farms and production facilities, far more than any other year.
The spread of the avian flu is showing no sign of slowing down. The BC SPCA is once again encouraging the removal of bird feeders to keep birds from gathering and avoid further spread. More than 140 cases have been confirmed in BC. The virus spreads mostly through feces and respiratory secretions of infected birds, and it has been affecting various species like ducks, chickens, eagles, hawks, and owls. The disease has also been found in some mammals like rats, pigs, cats, and even dogs.
Washington State has recorded its first commercial outbreak of bird flu. The state agriculture department says it was detected at a Franklin County business. The premises have now been quarantined so those poultry products do not enter the food chain. Up until now, the state agriculture department said only 36 small to medium backyard flocks had been hit by outbreaks, and that's just the commercial or domestic side of the picture. Hundreds of wild birds and geese in Skagit County may have also been killed by the avian flu. KUOW's John Ryan has more.
Kirsty Mole calls herself a wildlife first responder. When people see a bird in trouble, they give her a call.
In November, it's just been utter chaos. I hear things almost daily.
Cases of bird flu have spiked as flocks have migrated south. The disease kills birds quickly, spreads easily, and there's no treatment. This year is the worst outbreak on record, with millions of chickens killed nationwide. Numbers of wild birds are less clear, but Mole says
it's also the worst that it's ever been for wildlife.
In West Seattle, she's seen dead eagles, geese, gulls, a trumpeter swan, and a peregrine falcon. Mole says at this point the best thing to do is to report any dead or dying birds quickly so they can be disposed of. Touching them or moving them could help spread a deadly disease to new victims.
Contents of this article.
LUCE in a city, the Batandis Provincial Veterinarian Office has allayed public fear after a single case of bird flu, or highly pathogenic avian influenza type A, was detected in Airborne town.
I'm crossing Still Creek on the Central Valley Greenway. This is Burnaby. And I just noticed there's all these dead birds along here. There's one. There's another just up here, on the ground here. Seems to be affecting just crows. There's one. There's another one. Two. There's another. Two. One. There. One there. One there. One here. Another one. Just all over the place. I can only guess that these are birds that are heading here. Doesn't appear to be any birds on the other side. Just around the perimeter of this building.
We had heard reports of children in Europe and in the U.S. dying of strep A, but today a public health advisory that 2 children here in Montreal have died. Public Health says both children were under the age of 2 and died of complications from Strep A. 2 other children are sick. Now, Max, doctors are saying the 4 cases are not related. The children did not know each other.
That's right. But in a small number of people, it can be more severe. It's known as invasive Strep A and can lead to meningitis, pneumonia, toxic shock syndrome. The bacteria can also get under the skin and become a flesh-eating disease. The rise in cases among children with invasive Strep A has been documented in Europe and in the US. Now, it's not clear why there is an increase among children.
If parents notice fever, severe muscle aches, redness, or pain related to a wound or a skin infection, a severe sore throat, those would be reasons to seek care. And then doctors can evaluate, consider the whole picture.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.